Hello everyone, good morning. This is Panna Gandhi and I'm founder and
Hello.
leader of GEG Surat. Good morning everyone. Welcome to our show and
Hello.
this is this is GEG Asia Pacific event Staying Connected 7.0. This is the seventh time Asia Pacific is presenting throughout the world. You can say throughout Asia. Whoever is watching can watch us, and people from around Asia, around the world can present here. This is a platform which happens every year, twice every year, and we are hosting for the first time here at this session in English. We are going to present many number of people who are the expertise, and they are going to share their expertization about their knowledge and skills, and they are going to share from various parts of India as well as Asia. There are people from Japan, from Malaysia, from, if you talk about India, there are people from Tamil Nadu, from Punjab, from Gujarat, many places. So here you will get various people to share their knowledge with you, and you are going to enjoy learning many new things about technology as well as other things. This time, our theme for Asia Pacific is the theme of Asia Pacific Event 7.0 is equity in education and gamification in learning and few more. So, you all are going to enjoy this show. This show is for the educators and by the educators for the community to share and care and collaborate with people and enjoy learning different things, all about not only technology but integration of various tools and apps into classroom to make our learnings, to make our teaching and learning process more fun, more enthusiastic, more engaging, and more effective, so that students, that is today's learners, enjoy learning the show. So before going further, let me introduce myself. So this is our curtain raiser where we are working as a team. We, GG Surat, are the founder and leader of Surat, Ms. Panna Gandhi, and my co-partner, that is my other GEG Ghaziabad leader, Ms. Mukta ma'am, and her co-leader, Ms. Sumedha Sodhi. We work as a collaborative team and present various tools and various sessions in collaboration with each other from since last 1.5 year. We are happy to share that we have presented so many things, so many apps, so many tools, and so many things about education. And we are yet today going to share with you all various other presenters from different parts of India and Asia. So, if I talk about my introduction, I am the leader and founder of GEG Surat, Google educator, certified Google educated trainer, educator, Wakelet certified educator, Wakelet community member, Moat ambassador, Moat educator, SDG warrior, KME educator, and few more. I have till now given so many sessions and presented my skills and expertization, whatever I can share with people for the community. Now I call my co-leader, my co-partner, Ms. Mukta ma'am, to give her introduction. Mukta ma'am, please.
Thank you, Panna ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Mukta Sablok, founder and leader of GEG Ghaziabad, PGT Computer Science, and I am Google certified trainer. I am also CAMI certified educator, book certified educator, and Pansy Explorer. I welcome you all in our session of APEC Staying Connected 7.0. As ma'am has already discussed that APEC is the session where full Asia Pacific team is looking to the English sessions we are presenting as part of GEG Ghaziabad and Surat team. So once again, I welcome and we are just waiting for our first presenter to join in and she will soon join in to present our first tool, which is very useful tool for all of us. Yes, over to you,
So,
Panamam.
let me continue further. Let me continue further. So, in today's session, the people who are going to present are I'll share with sustainable event wherein, as I said, from different parts of India and Asia are going to present their expertise. And let me session is Going Global with Flip by Ms. Kamal Preet from Punjab. Then we have Benny Law Zing Zhang from that is Nate Gildart from Japan. He is going to present from Japan about launch, which is happening in India. So at this time, we have two presenters at the same time.
I think there is some network issue at ma'am's end. Sorry for the glitch. So, as ma'am was just telling that
Are you able
we
to
have
hear,
many
ma'am?
presenters. Yes, ma'am, sure. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Are you? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption and sorry for the net problem. I'm just going to continue once again. So as I said, our first presenter is from Punjab, Ms. Kamal Preet, who is going to talk about going global with Flip, which was prior Flipgrid and now it is termed as Flip. So she is going to share her expertise with Flip. Next presenter is Benny from Malaysia, who is going to talk about polls everywhere and interactive add-ons for 21st century learning. Next, we have Mr. Nate Gildart from Japan. And this session is aligned with our one more session, which is presented by Akansha Jain, and she is going to talk about adventure, as well as Ms. Gildart is going to talk about be an explorer, bring the world to your classroom with Google Geo tools. So he is a wonderful presenter from Japan who is one of the mentors of our GG Asia Pacific the forum, and he is presenting his expertise at his own channel GEG Nagoya. The link already you have, which is given in the schedule, and you can directly go there, from there and watch the session. If not, obviously you can watch our session after this also because it is available on GEG APAC site as well as on our playlist. So you can go anytime on that links which will be presented in the description to you. You can join that anytime. You can just save that link with you and join anytime whenever you have time. You are free to learn and grow. We also have the presenter from Tamil Nadu, who is for languages, and he is Vinod Kumar Ramu. The next presenter from Darjeeling, she is one of the leader of GG Darjeeling. She is the founder and leader of GG Darjeeling, and she is going to present her expertise about gamification in classroom, making mathematics mathematics lessons, interesting and exciting. Then we have Steve again from Japan, who is going to talk about ChatGTP, the wonderful application, one of the application of Google, which is really amazing. I'll not talk about that application much because it's really amazing for all the educators, which is going to be turning and a feather to us, a wonderful hand to us, and it's going to help in our education field in many many ways. So he is going to talk about chat gtp. Talking about tomorrow's session, if I talk about tomorrow's session, we do have session for tomorrow as well. As I said, it is 2 days session, 2 days event. So tomorrow we are going to once again start in the morning at 10 a.m., wherein our first presenter again is Ms. Kamalpreet from Punjab, and she is she is going to present about engage your students with a flip hunt. We have blended learning, need of an Indian. Then we have once again two sessions or two programs, one at the same time, one by Mr. Nate Gildat at his own channel, GG Nagoya. The topic is Dynamic Multimedia Tools for Digital Story Learning and Content Creation. As we know, storytelling and story learning, digital media, digital learning, digitalization, all is going haywire. All is going um, is talked about so much in today's time. Currently, it is really in the limelight that even the education system is focusing so much on that after since then when we have started with covid and now after post covid as well. So we will be having Nate Gildart at 12 noon, and aligned with that, on our own channel, on our own platform, we are having Miss Kamalpreet once again mastering flip in 2023. Then at 1 o'clock we have Mr. Kirill Azmir. He is going to talk about Google Art and Culture, which is really a wonderful exploring art with Google, one of the app which is really amazing for all the educators. And at the end, we are going to wrap up our session with our team, Miss um, Mukta Sablok, I myself, Miss Panna Gandhi, and our co-partner, our co-leader, once Miss Sumedha Sodhi. So we'll have the wrap-up session, and this is the entire schedule for 2 days event. So before going ahead, let me show you our site, which is GEG Asia Pacific site. So this is the site. This is the site where all our events are broadcast. You can get all the schedules, the past schedules as well, till which have happened. Like this is the 7th session. You can pick 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, all the sessions, as well as monthly events which we regularly have, and all are on this Asia Pacific site. So if you go and click on this GG APAC weekend January session 14-15, if you click on that, you will get here English language schedule. Similarly, we also have the schedules similar as us, hosting by various other GG leaders in India, wherein we have sessions in Hindi, we have sessions in Japanese language, Filipino, Bhasha Malaysia, and Punjabi as well. So these are various sessions throughout India happening and hosted by different GEG leaders at different places over Asia. So going further, not talking much about it, I'll just try to bring Miss Kamalpreet, and she's here. So let me add here. Welcome, Miss Kamalpreet. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, am I audible? Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
let me
you
know.
are audible.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome, Miss Kamalpreet,
Hello, Miss
ma'am. I'll
Kamalpreet.
just stop my
Welcome.
presenting and give your introduction. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, ma'am. I am super excited. Okay, Miss
Mukta,
Panna
ma'am,
Gandhi
please
and
introduce
Miss
her.
Sablok. I'm like super duper excited. Okay, so stoked to join you today. And hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're joining us. Welcome to day one of GEG APAC.
Good morning, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Um, and like ma'am has already introduced, that GEG APAC is a
Uh,
global learning festival of 2 days of educational technology workshop in multiple
good.
languages across the APAC region, coming to you live here on YouTube. And
Uh,
here in India, we are gearing up for
there is
Makar
some,
Sankranti. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please continue. Miss Gandhi, please continue. I think there's some connectivity issue at my end, probably because your voice seems to be breaking for me.
yeah, same here. Your voice is breaking, ma'am. I'll just
Hey, technology always happens. It's fine, and that's what makes us
welcome,
amazing
Miss
as
Kamalpreet,
teachers.
ma'am. She is from going to our sorry, sorry, friends. There are, as today is Uttarayan, and you know that kites are flying in the air, and that is where we are having some glitches with the internet connection. So I'm really sorry for that. Please stay connected with us for all the sessions. So I was talking about Miss Kamalpreet, ma'am. She's from Punjab, and welcome, ma'am. We are so glad to have you here and share your presentation at our platform, GG Surat Ghaziabad. And we are really enthusiastic and excited to host you on our platform.
So much.
Kamalpreet, ma'am,
Thank you
please
so very
introduce
much.
yourself.
Okay, like Miss Gandhi just shared, okay, my name is Kamalpreet, and I am one of the
So
educator
that the technical
innovation leads at team at Microsoft Flip. Prior to joining Microsoft, I was working as a middle school science teacher for the past 12 years at a leading public school in Bangalore, India. And to share about myself, I am super duper passionate about everything which is related to STEM. Um, Obviously, being a science teacher, then social emotional learning, because I seriously feel that in a world where you can be anything, we should choose to be kind, and that comes from when you're connected to yourself emotionally. So I'm a strong advocate for that. The UN SDGs, I live, breathe, eat the UN SDGs, and considering that they have to be accomplished by 2030, we don't have a lot of time available with us, and we need every resource out there, we need every person out there to help us achieve these UN SDGs by 2030. And gamification. Being a middle school science teacher, my students loved games, and me too. I'm also all in for the competition and for self-regulation and the persistence that games teach us. So gamification is another thing that I'm really really passionate about. In addition to that, I'd love to know more about you. So, educators who are joining in today, seriously, repeating myself again, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever that you're joining us from. Please share in the live chat where you're joining us from and a little bit about yourself. I'd love to know you better. But then again, respecting your time and the fact that there's so many amazing sessions which are lined up today, let's dive right in. Um, Miss Gandhi, if I have your permission, do I get started with my session? Okay, yes. Uh,
Yes, ma'am, sure. You can start the
thank,
session.
thank you,
Ma'am, you can
Mr. Joe.
start. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This session it is
Uh,
designed for educators of all subject areas, early grades through higher ed. The objectives of this session are how to number one, go global using Flip, and number two, how can we get started with Flip, both for educators as well as students. Not just getting started, we will also move on to some of the advanced features of Microsoft Flip, which are very, very useful to go global. And these are Grid Pals, Co-Leads, the Discovery Library, Flip live events, and mixtapes. So we know that as teachers, the most important thing that students always ask us, and around which we base our teaching learning experience, is the why. Any topic that we start to give, first thing that should come to our mind, that should come to our students' mind, is why. So, why go global? What is the value in going global? Why should we open our classrooms to the world? Though there are many, many advantages, I've listed the top five for you on this slide. So, number one, there is cultural awareness and understanding. When you're collaborating on a global project, your students learn about different cultures, they learn about different customs and perspectives. And this helps to build up that global citizenship where there is understanding, there is awareness of different perspectives, there's an awareness of different cultures, of different customs, different traditions, and that brings in the understanding part. Second, collaborating on a global project, it can provide students with an opportunity to practice, let's say, using a foreign language, which can help them to improve their language proficiency. So, in our school setup, we have a third language. Oftentimes, this would be French, it might be German, it might be Spanish. So, when you're engaged in a global project, you can engage with you can map your classroom, you can map your students one to one with native language speakers. So you might be connected to a classroom where all the students speak Spanish and you might be speaking English, and that ways both of the classes get to practice their languages, Spanish for your class and English for the other class. And Though there are apps available for this, but when you do it in person as in virtually over here, when you're doing that, the results can be markedly different. It helps to build student confidence when they're speaking to their peers in their native language, and there's no hesitance in resistance that ways. So the second advantage of going global is that it helps up us in language development. The third thing is that it can help students to develop critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork skills as they work together to solve real world problems. And clearly, when I'm referring to these real world problems, they are fueled by my love for the UN SDGs or the global goals. Um, as students get to work on these get to work collaborate together on these real world problems, they get to see that a problem that they might be facing in their classroom in their city, that that is not restricted to just their classroom or their city. Okay, so here in Bangalore we had a problem, we face a problem of waste segregation, and when we connected with classrooms across the world, we found out that waste segregation is not just a problem particular to our city, but it exists in multiple cities. And again, plastic pollution, which is related to waste segregation, is an issue here. And we found out that it is an issue everywhere. So students get to see that um, they get to expand their horizons. So something which be restricted, okay, that this is just a problem locally. They get to see that it is indeed a global problem, and in order to solve these global problems, you have to think globally. You have to come together as a world. You have to connect with other people in different parts of the world and find solutions to these local problems. And when you multiply the effect of these local problems, it becomes a global solution. So that is the third advantage of going global, that it helps to it helps in real world problem solving. Now, the fourth thing that is important is that it helps to develop technology skills. So technology skills such as video conferencing, online collaboration, and digital communication, much like we're doing right now. So I'm not here in person, and I'm not even in the same city as many of you. I'm not even in the same city as the organizers, the amazing Sablok ma'am and Gandhi ma'am. They're in different cities, and yet we have come together using video conferencing, using the power of technology, and all of us are learning together using this big power of technology. And imagine if you could do this with your students, okay, they would learn these skills earlier on, and these skills would come in, they would hold them in good stead when they're moving on for work outside. Then, very, very important is that these global projects can help students to understand the importance of working together to achieve the common goals. Like I said, okay, the UN SDGs or the global goals, these are common goals. They're not restricted to a classroom, to a city, to a country even, but they are for the entire world. And when you're engaging in these common goals, the students, they develop a set of global citizenship, and this encourages them to take active role in creating a better world for all. So everybody, all of us, have to come together to solve these problems, so that the entire world is so that our horizon is not just limited to our classroom or city, but it is a global problem that we are addressing. Moving on, there are other advantages to this as well. Okay, so I'll briefly touch upon these. Yes, when you're engaging in, when you're collaborating on a global problem, it can help to increase student engagement and motivation as they're working on a project that is meaningful and relevant in their lives. I'd like to take the example of my project, which was my global project, which was there on plastic pollution, and it was a problem that we were facing here in Bangalore. We were That was an issue that we wanted to address. So the students were self motivated. I didn't have to tell them, okay, do this, do that. Okay, they came up with their own ideas, and they were proactive about it. So when they're self motivated, when it is a passion project for them, okay, that helps to build engagement. So when you're doing these global projects, okay, it helps to increase motivation, it helps to build up on student engagement as well. Then there is an exposure to diverse perspectives, and ideas which can help to broaden the understanding of the world. Obviously, there is an opportunity to develop leadership skills as well, as they take on different roles and responsibilities within the project. So, over here, the best part is that, much like in today's workplace, we are not restricted. We've got people coming from different parts of the country. We've got people coming from different parts of the world, and when students engage in these global problems, they get to understand these the cultures, they get to understand the customs, and then they get to see how can they collaborate with these differences and work together as a team. So it helps to build these intercultural communication skills, and it also helps to develop their leadership skills, that you everybody is so different, and how do you take advantage of those differences and come together as a team to fulfill the target that you have set out. um, In addition to this, very important that it helps to prepare for future careers. And I'm not going to repeat that often repeated thing. Okay, but yes, it when the students are engaged in these projects, they get experience uh, for their future careers. Like I said, technology, collaboration, communications, these are key skills which we need to teach our students today so that it can benefit them when they're moving out into their workplaces. So, let's get on to the most important question. How can a teacher who's sitting over here in India connect her classroom to another classroom which is best based in the US or let's say Japan? How can we do that? Um, we can do that by using the power of Flip. And in case you aren't aware of Flip, well, Flip is a free forever video discussion platform from Microsoft. And we at Flip are on a mission, and the mission is to help educators like you to empower them, uh, to help them to empower every learner on this planet to share their voice and to respect the diverse voices of others, because we truly believe that every voice matters and it has the potential for changing the world. We don't just say it's we listen to people. We encourage students, we encourage people listening to each other, not just to answer but to actually think about what they're saying, uh, to hear them out, and that's how we can make the world a better place. Because like our mission states that every voice matters and it has the potential for changing the world. The only thing that we have to do is we have to listen. Um, and this is something which is really missing in the world these days. So as a teacher, how can you get started in Flip? It is fairly simple. It is just 3 steps that are needed to get started in Flip. Step number one, as it's indicated on the slide, is you would create a group. So, what is a group? A group is something like a classroom. Groups, they help to organize topics or questions or prompts, and to share them out with the learning community, as teachers share them out with the learning community. And you can share all the topics in a group using a group join code. Uh, you are in control of who has access to your group. So it's almost like I said, a group is a classroom. Okay, so you as a teacher in the classroom, you have control over the classroom. You decide who comes into your classroom, who leaves your classroom. So in the same way on Flip also, you have a classroom, we call that classroom a group, and you're in control of who comes and who goes out of that group. The second step is fairly simple. Now, once we are there in the class as teachers, what's the first thing that we are likely to do? We are going to ask questions. We are going to spark discussions. We'll start off by asking students, by giving them a prompt, by asking them questions, and over here in Flip, just like for classrooms we call them groups, in the same way for topics or questions we call them topics. So the second step that is needed after creating a group is that you're going to spark a discussion using topics. Now, a topic can be anything. It can be a question. It can be a prompt. It can be something that you want the students to respond to. It can be an experiment. You can have a debate happening in between two students, or in your entire class, or you can even have exploration taking place. So it can be anything, absolutely anything, to ignite conversation, to get people to get your students to discuss, to get your students to voice their opinions. That is what's a topic, and that's the second thing that is needed. After that, and I also have to add this very important point. Okay, just like in a classroom, you decide as a teacher that how much time you're going to be spending in a given activity. In the same way, for a topic, you get to decide as a teacher how long do you want the students to spend time on that. Do you want them to respond to that topic in 15 seconds or 10 minutes? So you get to decide 15 seconds or 10 minutes, the length of the video. In addition to this, within a topic, Flip also gives you additional options to customize your topic. So what you can do is you can add additional content, you can add external links. So let's say you've created a Google Doc, you have created Google Sheets, okay, or you've created other documentation, perhaps a Wakelet, and you want your students to refer to that, all those links, and then answer that question, or you want them to go to let's say a nice YouTube video that you yourself have created, or that you've picked out a pre-existing video that you've picked out from YouTube itself. So topics allow teachers to use these external links and add them to the topics, so the students can refer to these external links and then respond. um, in addition to that, I do need to mention this, that you also have the option of moderation. Now, what is moderation? um, Generally, okay, I got to experience this as a teacher myself, that you have some students in the class who are very quick on their feet, okay, so very very quickly you give them a question and their hands go up immediately. They're the first ones to answer, or you ask them to complete an assignment and they will take that thing as it's carved in stone. They'll be very focused in completing that assignment as soon as they can to the best ability. And then there'll be others who will take their time, and there'll be some smart ones also who want to have a peek at what everybody else has done, and then they'll put it down on paper and make the submission. So what teachers can do over here is, it's a video discussion platform. What teachers can do is that the teachers can moderate the topic. That means the topic will not be visible to anybody. The topic money, the answers will not be visible to anybody other than the teacher for whatever time the teacher might decide. And then if the teacher wants, she can make all the answers visible. So that ways, students, they don't get influenced by what others are saying. They get to speak their own mind. And you also you also take care of those really smart kids that you have, especially in middle school, when they're really pushing the boundaries with the teacher. So that is all about topics. I know I promised to keep it brief, but I couldn't resist. So that is all about topics. And what next? You have to invite your learners to join your group, um, and the topic, and that is where you get to see the magic happening. Now you can have your students join your group using either a join code, or it can be a link. um, you also have an option to share the join code or the link across different channels. It can be a Google Classroom, it can be obviously Microsoft Teams, there is Remind, or you can even embed it onto your website. So if you're maintaining Google Sites, you can share it out over there. Or if you've got social platforms like WhatsApp is very very popular here in India, or even on Twitter, or if there is a page that you're maintaining, a Facebook page that you're maintaining, you can share it out over there, or even in your NMS. So it will generate that link and you can share that link wherever you'd like. Once again, you as a teacher decide, you are in control. And then members will have options that you've selected to share their voice, and that's where you get to see the magic happening. As the community engages with the options to view, comment, and leave feedback, you will see that your entire class is lighting up with those discussions just by that single prompt that you posted. Now, uh, those are the three steps to get started on Flip. Okay, just quickly repeating that: creating a group, sparking a discussion with topics, and then watching the magic happen as students engage in the topics or discussion. So, uh, whether your students are learning remotely or they're face to face, whether they're connecting with each other or connecting with a classroom across the planet, collaboration is essential in the learning process, and who knows it better than us teachers? Okay, especially in the existing workplace, collaboration, communication. These are key skills that we need to develop in our students, and Flip allows you to do that. Flip is a great way to empower your students when helping them to learn and respect the diverse voices of others. Let's see how we might leverage the power of Flip to open our classroom to the world and go global. But when I'm saying global, I don't just mean as a whole class. Okay, so it's not just one class connected to another class, but I mean one to one, student to student. To personalize that experience, you can use the power of Flip Grid Pals. So, how do we go and experience this Flip Grid Pals? All that you need to do is you go to your profile, you click on Grid Pals, you just have to toggle the button, you're going to fill in your details, you will fill in the type of community that you belong to. So it can be um, like right now I'm handling an after school club. What is the subject of that you're teaching? I would focus on STEM, and which country you're joining in from. You would also fill in additional details, your social media handles, and then click on becoming a grid pal. After that, you will toggle your button from a hidden to an active, and you can see that it is listed. Now, all that you once you are listed, just give me a minute. Let me move that back. Okay, so once you are listed, other people and even you yourself, you can look for other teachers, other grid pals by toggling by searching through the community. So do you want to look for other after school clubs? Do you want to look for particular classes? You can do so by filtering out subjects. So are you a science teacher who wants to connect to other science teachers? Are you a science teacher of middle school, so you might want to search for that within the community. Or you might be a music teacher, you might be into physical education. Okay, so you have all that option. Not just that, if you look at search grid pals, okay, if you look at the last thing that's there, okay, you can even connect to somebody that you already know. So if you have a name in place, okay, you can search over there by just clicking, but just keying in the word and hitting that search grid pals, and you would get all those suggestions name wise as well. And after that, all that you need to do is, as you've seen that we've already shared our social media handles, so you would need to connect to that educator on any of the social media handles that they have indicated. It's as simple as that. And in case you already have a Flip account, okay, go ahead and hit that toggle button, become a grid pal, and start your global journey. It's as simple as that. And there are so many classrooms who have actually experienced the magic of grid pals. Let me share a couple of gems taken right from the Discovery Library to foster these global collaboration. Okay, that what can you do in order to get started with going global? So the first thing that comes to mind is icebreakers. To get started, you can simply have your class introduce themselves. I'm so sorry, I just moved quickly. Okay, I am facing a lag over here. We are there at the correct slide. So to get started, you can have your class introduce themselves to others. So if they're talking about the weather or the culture or even the special holidays to that are special to your community. You can have students really share what's unique to them and where they live. So right now, okay, we are in the weekend for Makar Sankranti, for Lodi. Lodi just passed. Okay, we have Pongal coming up. And we have Bihu, which is coming up. So why not use that opportunity to make these global connections? Reach out to a classroom, share them, have your students uh, share these. Share how they're celebrating these different festivals in their home, and then they can share it with the classroom across the world, how you are celebrating the festival. The other classroom can share what festivals do they celebrate. Do they have any particular festivals coming now in January? Do they have harvest festivals which are unique to their region? Or and you Or if it is people from India who are based in other countries, okay, compare notes. Okay, how do they celebrate Makar Sankranti? How do they celebrate Lori? I'm not very sure, okay, whether they'd be allowed to set up these bonfires and have all the fun that we get to do here in India when we're celebrating Lodi. Not very sure, okay, whether you'd get all these sweets, okay, these reveries and things in different parts of the world. So how are they celebrating? How are these Indian students celebrating Indian festivals when they are located in other parts of the world? You can find out by something as simple as introducing yourself. And you can also see there's this amazing example that we have from Empatico, the story of my name. And I so love this. Okay, often at times, um, yeah, especially when you're making these global connections, okay, names tend to be mispronounced, and that really has an impact, okay, for the longest period of time. Okay, even now my name is incorrectly pronounced as Kamal. Okay, that's because many Kamal is an Arabic name, and for people who are used to hearing Kamal, who are used to interacting with people from the Middle East, that just comes naturally. So you can you can share, okay, that how you can have your students share, okay, how to pronounce their name, what is the meaning of their name, what is the story behind the name, okay, and you can get to know each other like that. And believe you me that when students are making these one-to-one connections, these connections extend beyond that one particular session, beyond that year. And if you have these projects year after year, those connections are deep. They really end up making friends with people that with students that they might have never even met in real life. So something as simple as that, introducing yourself to others, which is an icebreaker. Then you could also have, like I said, you could also have uh, something which is related to SDGs. So uh, the example that you see on the screen that I'm showing you, okay, this one particular example, I'm so very fond of that. And that talks about the global problem of plastic pollution. It asks students to share similarities and differences between the reported community and their own, and calls for classrooms around the world to be inspired by heroes within their own community and then take action. At times, we've got so many people who are doing incredible work within our community, and yet we're not aware of it. And when you're engaging in these projects, the children are forced, I'm using the word forced, okay, because they they have to do research, and they get to see what is so special about their community, what is something which makes their community stand out, and what would they want to share about their community with somebody else. So they get, in the process, they get to know a lot more about their own community. And they also get to learn about these local heroes from other communities. So that's another thing that they can do, where they're using grid valves to find local solutions to global problems, like for the SDGs or the global goals. You can also have students share their love of learning. So, whether they're talking about their favorite books or something that they're learning in their bio class, or amazing art that they're creating, or artists that they're learning about, or even after school clubs or extracurricular activities. Um, you can have students talk about their passion projects with others who might be sharing the same passion projects across the world. So you could and you could have them compare notes. So if there's somebody in your class who is very passionate about chess, and you have somebody in another class who's as passionate about chess, they get to exchange notes. Again, something which I found very useful is these read alouds, where you could have grid pals making book buddies. So sharing your favorite book, sharing the perspectives of a book that you've read together, as collaborating classrooms, that can again be very powerful for your students. um, you get to decide to connect, and one thing that is sure to happen is that these global collections, they would empower every learner to share their voice, and they get to respect the diversities of others as well. And this both of these, okay, getting to listen to other voices, and which helps to build in respect, it also helps to build in global empathy. That's something which is the need of the hour. uh, in addition to that, you could also have upcoming cultural moments for the two countries. In fact, the best way to build connections is by learning and living the culture. So, if you're celebrating something, maybe share it out with others and have them join in your celebration. Um, you could if you're learning Spanish, if you're a Spanish teacher, and you want your students to you're connected to a grid pal who is based in Spain, or you're connected to another Spanish speaking teacher. Okay, then you could talk about their festivals and how they are getting to celebrate their festivals, and then you'd get to learn about the nuances of the language, the keywords which are associated with the culture of that particular language. So again, living the culture together with cultural moments using grid pals. And just in case you weren't sure, okay, to how to get started, we have the Discovery Library, where you can create, you can share collections, where you can explore these partner pages. All these questions are already available to you. Okay, the questions that I shared with you, we right now in the Discovery Library, we've got 40 plus thousand topics which are available for you, for anybody, to make your own. So it's as simple as that. Okay, let's see how can you leverage the Discovery Library. Again, you're going to click on the profile, and once you do that, you'll be able to see the second button, which is Discovery. You can look for any particular topic, like I'm searching for the story of my name, and you get this topic coming up. It has been made by our partner Empatico. uh, just go through the topic. If you like this, okay, then you can do three things to it. You can add it to a pre-existing group is your classroom, um, and you can check it out, yes, that whether it's been added or not. Or you can create a new group using that particular topic. So a new class, a new project that you are starting, you can do that. In case you're not really ready right now, and you want to come back to that later, you can save it for later. You can literally bookmark it. So this is how we bookmark it, uh, by adding it, saving it for later. So that's as simple as that. What all can you do? How do you look for different topics within the Discovery Library? And like I've said, there are 40,000 plus topics which are already there within the Discovery Library that you can customize and make your own. And in case you thought that that wasn't enough, what you could do is excuse me. In case you aren't too sure about how to deepen those real world connections, well, you can have your classroom ask questions live to world renowned authors, scientists, and creators like Chelsea Clinton, Rick Riordan. Yes, he's the same author behind the Percy Jackson series and somebody that my children absolutely adored. Or you can have a cyber safety expert who comes in, somebody who works closely with the police department to crack cyber crimes. You can talk to Steph Curry. You can talk to you can have your students asking questions directly to Stacey Abrams. So we've got all these people, all these wonderful, wonderful world-renowned people would be accessible to your students for to have them ask questions directly from them in Flip Live events. And this is available free of cost in 160 plus countries who joined in these events. So, multiple opportunities opening up over there after you've collaborated in the project. Now what? Okay, so you've worked on a project together and the learning has been amazing. So, why not add that student work into your class portfolio? So that you can share it out with the board, with the principal, with parents. You can do so by something which is known as mixtape. So what you see on the screen right now, that is a mixtape. And over here I've created a mixtape with other teachers, and where they've shared about what they feel about India, where they've tried to describe India in one word, or what makes India special according to them. So what you could do is you could have a topic, and have students respond to that particular topic, and then you can create these portfolios. You can gather all of them together into a mixtape, and you can share this mixtape out with in between the two collaborating classrooms. You can share it with your leadership team. You can share it with your parents, so that they know what their children are up to. And you can create these mixtapes for whatever you'd like. It can be for a project showcase, it can be for a project portfolio, it can be even for classroom introductions, it can be for global read alouds, it can even be for student TED talks. And the best part is that they are view only, and they can be shared anywhere, including student report cards. Just imagine that if you put it in a student report card, and okay, let me just, if you put it in a student report card, and the parents get to see, okay, why has the child been given this particular marks, okay, and you shared the link over there, and they get to scan it and see, okay, that is the reason, okay, why he or she was given this mark. This is the work that the child has done, and that's why he or she deserves an A, okay. And this is how the student has been consistent, perhaps during the entire year, for which he or she deserves an A. Or this is the growth that the child has had over the entire year, because of which that particular grade has been given. So that's just like taking report cards to a different level. Now, now we've seen, okay, very quickly, we've seen how you can use Flip to go global. So with Grid Pals, you can have these virtual asynchronous exchanges. Using Grid Pals again, you can look for teachers, other Grid Pal teachers, and invite them as guest speakers within your classroom. So as let's say you're a chemistry teacher, you want to uh, grade 7 chemistry teacher who wants to invite another chemistry teacher at a higher who's at a higher level, or a college level teacher, okay, into your classroom. You can look for those people, look for those connections using Grid Pals, and you can invite them as guest speakers, so they can dive deeper into that particular topic. You can you can get connected on global projects. And over here, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the Goals project, which is coming up some right now. And if you already aren't a part of the Goals project, please, please, please do register for the Goals project. It's an amazing experience and highly recommended, both as a teacher and also as a part of as somebody who's very, very committed to the SDGs. Um, then, using flip events, you get to take your students to virtual field trips. We have another one, which is coming up on 18th of Jan, which is with the Moat Marine Lab that is based in North America, and they have some interesting insights to offer. Not only can you attend the event live with your students, but you can also watch the recordings of these events. You can post questions on the grid for the experts to answer, and they'll be answering one-to-one questions. And just imagine the excitement that students get when their questions are picked up and answered by the experts, which who they think they don't even have access to. But you would be as a teacher, you would be facilitating those connections with the global audience. In addition to that, there are international events and festivals that are again celebrated as flip live events. In case you're an English teacher, we have MLK uh, day coming up. The next few weeks. Okay, so please be on the lookout for that. We would be celebrating International Women's Day, so we've got events around that. So just open your classroom. Okay, move beyond what is happening just locally and see what's happening out in the world. There's so much to explore. And yes, there's multicultural literature as well. Okay, for language teachers, this would be a big asset. So do keep your eyes open for that as well. So way to go globals, using grid pals and using flip events, and sharing very quick tips. Okay, just 3 tips to ensure success. First, whenever you're engaging in these global projects, do establish and maintain that trust. Now, that can be done if you are communicating clearly. There's regular consultation between you and the grid pal teacher, and there's a consistent follow through. So, whatever you're doing, you can have a plan in place and follow that through. And second is education initiatives. These would be community driven. Okay, so you have to get a buy-in from the parents, that whenever you're engaging in these global projects. And there has to be flexibility. That go in with a growth mindset, with freedom for trial and error. um, just be open to all these things, and you're sure to excel in these global projects. And with that, that is all that I had to share about going global using Flip. Um, and if there are any questions for anybody out there, okay, please. I'm going to stop my presentation right now, and you can please ask away in the chat, and I'll be answering those. Gandhi ma'am, do we have any questions for us?
Uh, as of now, ma'am, there are no questions, but really amazing, the wonderful things you have shared. I have no words to talk about. Really, it was amazing session, and I hope the audience must have learned a lot from your today's session and your expertise. And dear audience, please stay connected with us. There are other lined up sessions also, and I am sharing you here the participant link here in the comment box, and you can fill that form for our online session, and of course you are going to get the certificate for this. Whoever are going to join our live session will definitely get the certificates for today's sessions, whichever you are going to attend. And Kamalpreet ma'am, thank you once again. And yes, we are yet going to learn from you in furthermore few sessions as well. today as well as tomorrow. So really, it was amazing and wonderful session. Ma'am, please,
Thank you so
if you
much,
would
Miss
like to
Gandhi.
say,
Thank you so
uh,
very much. It's always such a pleasure to connect with you. And I'm super duper excited for the two sessions that I have tomorrow. One is on gamification and how can we build in engagement into our classrooms using flip hunts. Um, that is my personal favorite. And the second one is where we'll get to deep dive onto flip. So over here, we just briefly touched upon Flip. Tomorrow, we'll get to know all about Flip and how can we get started on a Flip journey. On my screen, you would be able to see the link to our Facebook page. So if you're not already a part of it, do join our Facebook group. There are we have an amazing, vibrant community of teachers like you who are doing everything to empower their students, to empower their classrooms. Once again, thank you so much, Miss Gandhi, Miss Sablok, for inviting me over here, and I'm so delighted to be a part of this. Thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Audience, you may use from wherever you are watching. Please, you can click a photograph of our sessions and use this, which is shared at the bottom of our screen. You can use these hashtags and share with your on your social medias, and you can get connected with us through our links, which whatever we have shared on Twitter handles, as well as you can subscribe our channels so that we can get connected and learn more and more from each other. And we are always happy and most welcome. We always most welcome to other presenters or as well, whoever wants to share their presentation or expertization with us. Please contact us at our Twitter handles, on social medias, or through our channels, or wherever it's possible. You can also get connected to us through LinkedIn, through Facebook as well. So once again, thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Mumta
you
ma'am.
so very much, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye. So we are looking forward for the next session in 10 minutes. Please stay connected. Bye.